Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Govinda, Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jai Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Feel free to sing along. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now, many of you are not hearing exactly how I sang this last part of this melody. You were doing something else. Let's try it again. Let's see if we can hear it this time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Very good. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Radhe Radhe, Govinda, Govinda, Radhe Radhe, Govinda, Govinda, Radhe. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Flower garlands, ki jai. Flower garlands without tape, ki jai. Welcome everyone, welcome back to our, I guess this is our fourth session, or is it fifth and last? Anyway, some sessions. Fifth canto Srimad Bhagavatam. We've been journeying, I would say, not a straight journey so much as like skiing, slalom, back and forth, up and down, around. And in the process, we've been exploring possibilities for enactment of one or another aspect of the fifth canto. And I like to encourage devotees to exercise, to, we say in English, to get your creative juices going. Creative juices. How would you say that?
Kreativni sok.
Kreativni sok. Sounds funny. So Krish's name. And I promised yesterday, today we will focus on having fun. I hope we'll have some fun. Before we go into having you do things, a little plug. I mentioned on the first day that we have this ongoing project of encouraging devotees to read Bhagavatam and then write something based on a passage in the Bhagavatam. And we've brought together these writings of devotees. First canto, we have a volume, second canto, third canto, and now, since very recently, fourth canto. Rasadari Hari Prabhu is especially to thank for organizing this. He's very determined. He's kind of doing many different things to make this possible, and especially getting others to help to prepare. I think he's also getting some help from some Bhakta Chat GPT for some editorial work and so on. The way we do this is we just find something I will say for you, find something in fifth canto that kind of gets you going, makes you feel like you'd like to say something about it, and do some reflecting and then do some writing, and think about how best to communicate what it is you want to communicate. This is a process. It can be a challenge. I think it was Cicero who said that the greatest way to focus the mind is to write, because when you write, you really have to get it right. So we ask devotees to limit their writing. Some tendency could be there, to write a whole novel, and that's great if you want to write a novel, go for it, but that's not going to fit into this book. We made a kind of arbitrary limitation of 1,200 words, so most computers, they'll count the number of words. Since more recently we also have a minimum, I don't know what the minimum is. 300 words, okay. Yeah, in other words, do have something to say. If your way of writing is in this style of Japanese haiku poetry, which is just a few syllables, maybe you can write more than one. But have something interesting to say, and don't just repeat what's in the Bhagavatam, what's in the purports, or what's, don't tell us something we already know. So it's a delicate kind of balance. You want to bring yourself into what you're doing, what you're expressing, but this is not an exercise in expanding our narcissistic inclinations. So it's a kind of balance what we look for. And what I found is I've been very impressed. Devotees really do bring very nice insights, reflections. Mainly devotees are writing in regular sort of prose, like essay format, but some are writing poetry, some are maybe like a dialogue. I wrote something which maybe it's presumptuous to call it a champu, but it is some prose and then some not rhyming, but some verse and then prose again. If English is not your first language, which means practically all of you, please write in your mother language and then have it translated, because we are publishing English book since it'll reach a wider audience, and we want you to be read by a wider readership than we would get in the Balkan area. In the back here we have a list of, I think we got this time 70, or about 70 authors, and we got something about from almost every chapter, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, nothing from chapter 10, 11, 12, 14, 13 also missing, 14, 15, 17, 18. Oh, interesting that, okay, this is Canto 4, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 8. So there's a jump. 9, chapter 30. Most of the chapters, someone wrote something. And each author has given a little title to whatever they have written. Here is one. Who wrote this? I have to check. 196. Nice title. Within the chapter 16 of Canto 4, Praise of King Prithu by the Professional Reciters, that's the chapter. And then the author's reflection is called Milking the Earth with Reverence, a Bhagavatam reflection on ecology. So you can relate, as this would be one example, something about current events or current issues in the public sphere, or it can be current events in a more private sphere, but in some relation between. And here you might want to remember what we talked about on the first day. The Bhagavatam, we showed a sort of diagram with the Bhagavatam and then the Vedas and the commentaries and the non-Indic traditions, and then ourselves. So here the exercise is mainly bringing yourself in But there's no hard and fast rules. You might have something you want to draw from commentary, maybe from Srila Prabhupada, maybe from another Acharya, etc., from all the other elements that we showed. We have, what's the word for deadline in Croatian? Rock. Rock and roll. So there's a rock. So do your rocking before the rock. Do your writing before the rock. Do some rock anyway. And the rock, the deadline is?
1st of December.
1st of December. So if you don't get it in by 1st of December, you will turn into a pumpkin. And what you've so carefully written and thought about and written, who knows where it will go. Again, the idea is to get us reading, and I mentioned also active reading as opposed to passive reading. Yeah. And I think this is a nice way to do that. Any practical points, Rasandani? Okay. There are some little details. We do have something written that explains, there's a few points, writing style, technicalities are there. Dare I ask, who of you thinks you might want to contribute to this project? Fifth canto, yes. Not fourth, not... Oh, good. Okay, good number. Some are sort of like this. Now, what's going to happen is that 2 weeks after our retreat, you're going to forget. No?
Some of us wish to forget things in Islam, it doesn't go like that.
Say again?
I'm just saying some of us wish they can forget things.
Oh, yeah.
It's always there.
It's always there. Even if we want to forget this, yes. We won't forget. Okay, so thank you. Just, Dacha, what about you? You're a very clever person. Will you write something?
Yes.
Good. Okay. How can you say no in public? Right?
I have a plan to write something.
Your plan, great. Okay. Yeah, regarding translations, so you can write, of course, in Bosnian, for example, and then translation. Don't depend entirely on AI. You need to have it checked because AI, with all its good intentions, will not get it quite right. And sometimes it will say something that could be quite embarrassing, I suppose. Am I right, dear Krishna?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Any questions about that? Clear enough. The first, second, third, fourth cantos are available. It's called Bhagavata Smaranam, Devotees' Reflections on the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Canto 2, Canto 3, Canto 4. You can read some of those and kind of get an idea of what others have written. That might help you get a sense. I also invite some of my God's siblings to write. So in the book we also have some. Was it this year? I think it was last year. I asked Jayaveta Swami to write something. And he wrote back and said, I have so many things I have to do, so much to write. But since you asked, I will do it. And he wrote a very nice piece. Yeah. Good. Yes.
It seems to me that for the fifth camp,
Here comes a microphone.
it seems to me for the fifth camp that that's my speculation. But most of devotees will avoid hellish planets and cosmology. So is it okay just to write on other chapters?
Well, either that or everyone will write about the hellish planets. Yeah, everyone's welcome to write on any of the 26 chapters, any part of any of the. You could also, you could write something that is somehow related with a group of chapters, and some of them may be on cosmology. Again, it doesn't have to be an essay, it can be a story. Let your creative juices flow and see what interesting way you can reinvent the Bhagavatam. Ooh, did I say that? Hare Krishna. Okay, yeah. So now, as promised, we have, I don't know if we want to get immediately into Rav. We have, I think, also something else you've prepared, Surya Kunda.
We prepared for... Yeah, 2 days ago we prepared and wrote it out. It was honey.
I just hear. Is this something, you have something which is different from what you presented before? Okay. So, anyone else, we had this idea of how would you present, since we mentioned 26 chapters, how would you present the about the hellish planets to X, Y, or Z? Yes, Rasendev, you have something. You want to come up here?
I mean, it's very, very short, like practically like a haiku.
Like a
Because,
haiku?
it was conversation between.
Do you want to sit here?
No, that's not me to sit here. I'm just. It is a conversation between Govinda Ram Prabhu and myself, and we thought how to present to someone who comes from the Mars, hellish planets, and first we concluded that if he's coming from the Mars, he must know how it's on the hellish planets anyway. He's traveling all around galaxy, but anyway. So we touched. I said, well, it's hot there, and people are in this oil or whatever, and And then Govinda Ram Prabhu said one nice point that Srila Prabhupada was in Switzerland or something like that, or speaking with Tamal Krishna Maharaj about Switzerland. And then Srila Prabhupada said that actually on the hellish planets it's more cold. Most of the hellish planets are cold than hot. So we concluded very quickly, if Martians are coming, we'll say, come in the winter time to Norway or Switzerland. And you'll see how it's hellish planets. That's it.
And that's it, okay.
Short.
I'm reminded of a little story Srila Prabhupada likes to tell of a Christian preacher preaching to coal miners in, I don't know, Manchester, North England. And he's a preacher, he wants to preach to them, hellfire and brimstone. If you don't behave nicely, then you will go to hell. Really, what is this hell? Well, it is very hot and very dark. And they kind of go, yes, so what else is new? We're doing that every day, we go down into the subplace. And then the preacher was how to get the idea that hell is a hellish, is not a nice place. And he said, there are no newspapers there. Oh, that's serious.
Today it will be like there is no internet.
There's no internet there. Yes.
If I sit here, could I read out something?
I think for the camera it would be easier if you sit here.
Yes.
To the style of your coal miner story. In the style of the coal miner.
Read slowly and clearly.
It's in Serbian.
Oh,
I don't know if I can read out actually. Šta te čeka u paklu, to jest čega nema. Kaže, nema jutarnjih novina, jer sav papir izgori. Nema dobrog ručka, tamo sve zagori, sve je crno. Nema ni kap vode, ja svakoj ženi.
Somebody could, I will not be so fast to translate to Maharaj. Somebody can translate directly to
Yeah.
Maharaj.
And everybody who can't understand.
Dear Prashant. He's a professional interpreter.
Ovo nije baš smešno, ali meni je bilo. Okay. Šta te čeka u paklu, to jest čega nema. Nema jutarnjih novina, sav papir je izgoreo. Nema dobrog ručka, jer sve je crno na dnu lonca. Nema ni kapi vode, a svako je žedan. Jedino što ima je tečna lava, vruće, ulje i gi. Tamo te bude u 3 sata ujutru, ali ne na mangala aratik, nego na trening udarajte užarenom gvozdenom šipkom. Nema Facebooka, TikToka, nema Facebooka, nema TikToka, nema interneta, samo signal horora. Sadista tamo pokušava da postane mazohista. Ali što je još gore za tebe, nema kafe, ni droge, ni klima, uređaja. Nema dezodoransa, to je zato jer se ljudi treniraju da uživaju svinjske mirise. Nema ni patika, ni čizme, a moraš da hodaš po užarenom šljunku i pesku. Nema slobodnog vikenda, jamadute te muče 24 sata na dan. Nema ni halave, ni prasadama. Zato bolje prihvati poziv u naš Hare Krishna Sunday Fest. Tako nikada nećeš da iskusiš kupanje u ulju, što nije terapija, jer je zagrijana na 100 Celzijusa. Tako da pevaj Hare Krishna i bude srećan.
It's interesting that when we hear about hell, hellish planets, this is what comes up, what it is that would not be there that we feel is somehow necessary, or what is there which we think is the worst possible thing. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in his essay, one of the essays that he wrote in 1869, he was, it's an essay meant to inspire the educated people of whom he was part of the circle, the so-called Bhadra Lok of Bengal, and to urge them to not reject the Bhagavatam, but to take it seriously and to draw from it the wisdom that it contains. And he mentions, I believe he mentions specifically this portion, the 26th chapter. He doesn't mention the chapter number, but he says, yes, there is this description of hellish punishments, and he kind of explains it away. He says, this has been written in order to scare people, to be good. In effect, he's saying, don't think that such places literally exist, but understand that it has its function, which is to caution. Because if you read that chapter, each one of the punishments is punishment for a particular crime or sinful activity. Yeah. I asked, as one of the options, that you would explain this to high school students. Did anyone do this? Prepare anything? No? Everyone thought, let the high school students go to hell.
We prepared something, but it might be appropriate for high school students as well.
Oh, good. Let's see. Let's hear.
Do you want me to do it? I need my hands. So I teamed up with
Microphone.
Vikramartha and we took a different approach. We decided to do visuals.
Okay.
So we said we would show them an ice cream.
Should she also be here?
She's translating.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
We would show them an ice cream, and we would explain the hellish planets are the cone. So the fluffy, juicy part at the top are the heavenly planets where things are delicious and good, and the surface right at the intersection is the middle ground, it's the earth. But the cone, as it gets lower, it gets darker, and there's no sun. And that's the easiest way we thought of explaining it in a visual way. And then the second thing we thought of is a trampoline. And you might think, why a trampoline? And then we said, well, if you sit on it, you're in the middle ground. If you bounce, you go up to the heavenly planets. But if you pierce the trampoline, you fall down. And you fall to a darkness, right? Because the trampoline blocks the sun. So you get to the land of darkness. So cool. I don't know if that makes sense. I think it makes sense for high school students.
Yeah. You might extend that, the trampoline example. It occurs to me, what are you doing? You're bouncing up and down and up and down and up and down. So what is that like? Material existence. Yes, you go higher, but how long can you stay there, right? Then you come down, and then you bounce back up and down. And yes, you might fall right through. Yeah. Yes.
No, I didn't prepare anything. I just wanted to say that it comes to my mind. I would maybe say to high school students that didn't prepare anything, but now it just comes to my mind that I would say something that to high school students that it's worse than having a holiday with your parents or something like that, to use some, let's say, comparison with what they, because as I understand the explanation to all of these different groups is actually to attracting them to bhakti. It's not like telling them to go to heaven or to enjoy material life or to actually make a threat to them, but instead to somehow attract them to bhakti with that strong contrast. This is just a little going around the jar because it just comes to my mind. But this was funny, like with family, because high school children.
So you were saying that the opposite of the hellish condition is having a holiday away from the parents.
With the parents, for high school.
Opposite.
Opposite.
Okay. Hell is having a holiday with your parents.
For high school.
Yeah. Teenagers, yes. The worst thing you can think of. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. I know you didn't mention priest, explaining it to a priest.
Oh, interesting.
It's interesting because when we were discussing in the group, we thought like just how to most easily like explain it to anyone, but I have my own experience explaining it to an actual priest. And we didn't make a sketch or anything, but I can just it's a true event, so it's quite interesting how it worked out. Do you?
Please.
Yeah. Okay. So, very briefly, for context, when I met devotees, then when I tried to become a devotee, my parents were very, very concerned, and they brought a very special Catholic priest who was very much...
Straighten you out.
Yes. Yeah, just to bring me to the right path. And priest was actually very kind. We spoke for 2 or 3 hours. At one point, one point was that you cannot mention these hellish planets and hellish planets without involving the idea of reincarnation. That's one point that is like where we stood. So he was telling me about eternal life after you die, we will be reincarnated. And I just told him like, but you really want to be reincarnated into this, like the same body? It's disgusting. You will be very old when you die. You're already old. Like, like, do you really want to, like, no, it is said in the Bible, Jesus will come and we will rise. And I was, I don't want to do that. I don't think it works like that. And I also said that, like, for me, the idea of eternal heaven and hell, it makes no sense. If you have one short life to live, how is it? Like, if you do the most terrible things, it doesn't make sense. God is not that angry with us. He's not that cruel to put us eternally into hell. So you just know it doesn't matter, you know. And he was actually a little bit, when I said this, he actually got, he started thinking. And I knew very little. I only read a couple of Prabhupada's books. I was very, very new devotee. And yeah, this was like one point where he actually stopped. I said, we are eternal, we are changing bodies, and according to our life choices, we get the results, or consequences for the choice we make. And at the end of our conversation, this priest, he was standing like this, and he said, you might be you might be a better person than I am, but you are on the wrong path. Oh. But at one point, he just asked me, but who am I then? he really got like very,
You
and he
got
doesn't want to.
confused.
He got a little bit, yeah, and he wanted to stay in touch.
Oh,
So he actually called my parents a couple of times, my parents' house, and asked about me. What am I doing? Where am I going? So it was interesting, like how Prabhupada's words, so simple. So it's such a simple truth, and even like these, like very orthodox Christians can understand. Like,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
Nice. Very good. So, these are some possibilities. There's infinite possibilities, but it brings us back, I think, to a point from Bhaktivinoda Tirtha Maharaj's talking this morning about how are we presenting ourselves, how are we presenting, we call it Krishna consciousness, to the wider world. How do we do that? And someone might read, on the street, they get a copy of Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 5. It happens so often. People on the street, they don't get Canto 1. They have absolutely no clue about anything, and they get, a Canto 5. And then maybe they open it up. A lot of people start, I don't know why people don't read the first part of the book. They go to the end of the book. So they go to chapter 26, and it's describing these horrible, what is this about? So it's an interesting challenge, constant. Right, and speaking of communication, nowadays there's one very popular form of communication, especially among young people, a style of music, of singing called rap. And our Harinama Nandini is a very seasoned rapper, and I think she's prepared something to give us some idea of the sort of thing one might do. And then we have some time, we're going to ask you to see if you can come up with something in the form of rap in little groups. Is that okay?
That would be interesting.
Should we do this?
Yes.
Yes? No?
Yes.
Maybe?
Yes.
No.
Yes. We try.
We try. Okay. No commitment yet.
So should I read this script, or should we perform first?
Please just perform first. Yeah.
Okay, so I was not preparing it alone. We are having a rap band. So,
Do you need 3 microphones?
yes, it would be.
Okay.
I sent you the. Okay, I just want to quickly explain. So this small rap song is based on, as we are doing here on
It's best if you use microphone also for explaining, because there are people out there.
Može? Čekaj.
nemoj još, samo da nešto kažem. Hello. Okay, Hare Krishna. So yeah, thank you for opportunity for service, and thank you all of you for coming. And yes, I just wanted to explain very quickly about this performance, that it is based, as we are doing here, the 5th canto. So it's a conversation between Jadu Bharat and Rahu Gana King. So it's based on and Rahu Gana King. Yes, so it's 5-6-5 or something like that, but it's one verse that also explains like it's about mind control and the influence of mind, which is very common what we face today. So, and also young people, and it's generally like a big topic. But it also reflects not only fifth canto, but also communication between authority and disciple. So it also reflects a little bit of conversation with Krishna and Arjuna. And also there are a little bit additional that is not just in this verse, but also in whole Canto 5 and in Ocean of Bhagavatam. So, okay, yeah, that's just a small introduction. Okay, you can play. Raghupana made an offense to Jadubharat, not knowing his character is more complex than a whole Mahabharat. All the Raghupana made offense. His heart starts to dance, because Jadubharat opened his transcendental lens. So Raghupana was very lucky. Instead of punishment, he got principles of bhakti, which clearly shows bhakti is not religion, and we have to overcome that superstition with an intuition.
Oh my dear sage, what to do with the mind? What to do with lust, anger, greed and pride?
Mind is best actor, play millions of roles. That's why it has to be carefully controlled.
But how to control? Please do tell me, sage.
You have to always be consciously engaged.
But how to engage? It's covered with the clouds.
Not with mundane topics, but with transcendental sound.
I'm really trying to deeply understand. These aspect points are hard to comprehend.
Don't try too hard, intelligence doesn't help. You have to surrender to pure Vaishnava step.
But what to do with all these desires? It seems they are burning like a forest fire.
But Krishna consciousness is very, very broad. It's not when you control them that you become bored. You can rule the kingdom, play rock and roll, reach your little goals, play with girls and boys, but do everything in different mentality together with Krishna, far from dualities.
And that's how poison left the ocean, and what is left is just nectar. Churning, 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 anarthas are burning, and only what is left is the pure spectrum. And that's how poison left the ocean, and what is left is just nectar. Churning, 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 anarthas are burning, and only what's left is a pure spectrum. And that's how poison left the ocean, and what is left is just nectar. Churning, 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 anarthas are burning, and only what is left is a pure spectrum.
Churning, what is left? What is it? What is left?
Sorry? Churning, 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 anarthas are burning.
Oh.
Churning, 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 anarthas are burning. Because and only what is left is a pure spectrum. So when they had conversation, King Bharat, his ego was exposed and it was hurt, and then it was burning, because you mentioned the old comparison with the turning and comparison with the eighth canto also. So when anarthas are burned, then we have a whole pure spectrum. It's like it's not that we get conclusion immediately, but we get this pure tabula rasa where we can create.
Very good. Actually, this brings up to my mind how we can connect this genre right to what we're all about, and that is the fact that our literature, there are expansions and there are contractions. The Bhagavatam as a whole is a kind of contraction and condensation from Vedic literature. It's the ripened fruit, we understand. Then within the Bhagavatam, there are stories which are also further contractions of the message of the Bhagavatam. Then we get other types of contractions. We get the Shikshastakam of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just 8 verses. And then we have another contraction, it's called the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The Hare Krishna mantra as the original rap. And all of this is for what? Is for communication. Right, so now what do we do? I'm proposing that we now, in groups of, can be 2, can be 3, could be 4. If you're a real loner, you can be a loner. Have some paper, have something to write with. You don't have paper. You don't have
We have them.
It's here.
Oh, it's here, okay.
No pen.
But before we go there, again, Harinama Nandini, can you explain some of the basic guidelines? There's rhyme, there's rhythm. That's all I know.
Yes, I'm just opening. Okay, from here. Okay?
If you prefer,
I
otherwise.
don't.
It's easier for them, the camp.
Okay, so I wrote some short script based on some information from the internet, but also my own intuition and experience, so don't take this as some general authority. And so I wrote some general tips, and I will read and quickly explain. I just want to say that this can be like that, but you can also improvise in your own way and use whatever method or whatever you would like. So this is just some small guidance that maybe could be helpful. So so the first step is to start with an inspiring first line. So that your opening line should catch attention. So it should not be like artificial. It should be something, okay, you get some material, you read, but then you can, of course, create the same sentence what you read. But since, Srimad Bhagavatam and our Shastras are a little, maybe complex to, to rhyme, and can be little, maybe for me at least, little difficult, but you can choose one sentence or read the purport or chapter, and let's start with the verse, and then you can choose one sentence and simply explain in your own words, or you can, you can have some inspiration from just to explain that sentence to your friend or something. Or I did this today. Let's say something more simple. I did this today. I want to be this. So some expression in simple way. Your first sentence, whatever you say, it's good in doing in group and pair. So whatever you say, you can also make a rhyme based on that sentence. So it can be basically a realization from verse, something that inspires you, something you have been thinking about, or something you would naturally say out loud. For example, I wrote this because I was mentioning in some songs, so not all those who wander are lost. Today is a day of special celebration. No one understands me like Krishna. Or for example, from the camp. Now we are at the camp. You have some nice experience from the camp, like, oh, the camp was great. It can be that simple. Camp is great, or you can express some emotion you felt during the camp. And 2 is keep your ideas simple. So I usually a little complicate. But simple ideas are often the strongest and easiest to wrap, and you can then easily memorize, and you can also communicate that with others more simply. And so when it comes to building rhyme, it's about like in the beginning, it's good to rhyme on the last word. So for example, whatever you use last word. For example, lost, you use cost, frost, crossed, celebration, dedication, meditation. So these also words with station are nice to rhyme. They're always good. Because there are many words on this: Asian, sensation, or Ishan, so it's just...
It's in English, but some may want to write in Serbian. Or,
Okay, I wanted to explain also.
okay.
Yeah, sorry, I'm more in English, I was more in English explaining. Ali da, isto tako, bilo koja rečenica na našem jeziku, ne znam, na primjer cool, opet možete iskoristiti full ili ne znam. Nije zato što sam sad nakon, because English is actually easier than our language because it's smoother words, like Slav languages are very like hard. So, but duša, for example, it's soul, puše, for example, wind, vjetar puše, ili tako nešto. Gledam, ne dam, može isto u glagolima, nismo ovo tijelo, odijelo, tijelo je kao odijelo, znači nešto što ima veze, jel, nismo ovo tijelo, pa možemo iskombinovati, ali nemojte se fokusirati na šta se tačno rimuje, nego gledajte da ta prva rečenica, taj prvi izraz bude nešto vaše, ali isto gledajte da ta baš ne završava sa nekom teškom, baš teškom riječi.
Recimo kao kaladon.
Kaladon, da, hvala, ili nešto što je baš teško, ali ako je to dio vaše te prve rečenice, to možete staviti možda promijeniti redoslijed riječi, pa da zadnja riječ bude jednostavna, na 4 slova ili na 5, nešto što je onako, nešto na što možete lakše da rimujete, za svakog je to drugačije, ali evo obično imaju riječi koje imaju više samoglasnika, a, e, i. Znači to je malo lakše da se rimuje na to. Eto. Da, znači kad imate tu jednu rečenicu, vašu ekspresiju, onda je lakše, jer ono za sve treba neki početak, svaki početak je težak, ali znači ako krenemo sa nekom rečenicom koja je nama prirodna, onda će nam ostatak ići prirodno, isto kao kad počnemo dan sa dobrom sadanom, nekako ostatak dana će nam biti povoljan. Broj 4. Znači imaju sada, ja sam napisala 2 različite kao opcije, da kako znači sad kreirati ovu drugu rečenicu koja se rimuje na prvu, znači to bi bilo ili... Should I speak?
Imaju prevod, a ti govori za engleski.
Yes, so
I think everyone understands Balkan languages. So go ahead, go in.
Okay. Yeah. I know she doesn't understand.
Oh, except for I don't know. But I have your notes.
You have, yeah. Na našem jeziku.
Anybody doesn't understand the self-creation.
But there's need for Yiddish also.
I will give you. I will give.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't have a whole lot of time.
Yeah, okay.
And maybe we don't need to go into much detail. Yeah.
Pa ništa, samo neke tehničke, kao ove vježbe za drugu rečenicu koja bi se rimovala je da probamo da razmišljamo u kontekstu da je druga rečenica ili odgovor na prvu, ili je neka nešto što dodajemo, ekspandiramo, ili je neki kontrast. Evo, na primjer, pošto sam ovdje napisala na engleskom, ako je, na primjer, odgovor, kažem, today is a day of special celebration, we are gathered here for spiritual inspiration. Znači, prva kaže, šta se dešava, a druga je odgovor. odgovor na prvu rečenicu. Na primjer, ako je kontrast, što isto se vrlo često koristi, today is a day of special celebration, but my restless mind still needs purification. Naprimjer, to je bio primjer kontrasta, ili na primjer dodavanja ili proširenja. Today is a day of special celebration, every holy name brings deeper realization. Znači dodavanje. Ok, sada ovo je jedan koji možete pristupiti, a opcija 2 je da isto brainstormate, odnosno da skupite sve riječi koji se na neki način rimuju, na primjer soul, gold, roll, ili na našem jeziku neke koje su vam jednostavne i onda na osnovu njih koristite tako da pravite rečenice. Ovo je možda malo teže i nije prirodnije, ali puno može da pomogne. Kao neki, može da pomogne u tom putu i kreiranju. Da, i na početku, mislim, nemojte sad, da kažem, silovati. Nemojte opterećivati rečenice sa previše riječi i probajte da bude što jednostavnije. I naravno, budite to što jeste, svi smo unikatni i svako može da repa i da piše tekstove, samo treba malo vježbe i da budemo prirodni, da budemo što jesmo, jer to je upravo ono što nas čini sve posebnim i različitim, da unesemo ono što je naše stvarno i da, to može. I hvala.
Thank you. Okay. All right, now you know everything. So now we don't have much time. And what we want to do is prepare something that you can perform this evening. Why not? Actually, we don't have much time right now sitting here, but if you're into this, you have the whole rest of the day until this evening. Now, I know you're sort of, again, with these blank faces. You choose. We said yesterday, we selected, I think, 6 verses. I gave the numbers. You can take one of those verses, you can take any verse, but we suggested these 6, and one of these 6. I remember the first was 551, Tapo Divya Putra Kayena Sattvam, Nunam Pramata Kurate Karma. One of them was 5518, which is don't be a guru or a teacher or a father or a mother or a demigod unless you can liberate Kuruna Sasyat Svajanona Sasyat, etc. And one of them was 518.9, it's Prahlad Maharaj's prayer, the one directly after Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya. The next one, Svastyasta Vishvasya Kala Prasidatam. May all living beings become devotees and give up their envy. I like that one myself very much. So you can take that and transform it. Make it into something you can rock with, that you can rap with. Okay? Whatever is there, 5, 11, 17 might be there also. Okay? Some of you are still kind of sitting there scratching your beards.
I can come.
Yes. Harinamanandini can come around and help. She may give you some prompts that you can work with. Okay? Hare Krishna. No, there's no need for one.
Like, then it's easier to
It's so funny how Govinda
Thank you.
Šta se desilo sa onim karavanima?
Mislim, u stvari više možda u mudu
Hvala.
Like some of us, intuition like it looks really nice, it looks weird, but it's
can we pause for a moment from our very engaging discussions? Now I have a question. Who would say, yes, we will be ready this evening to give a presentation? Yes, 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 yes. Some of you are not so sure. Yes. Yes, so maybe. You have between now and, I don't know, 7:30 this evening, something like that, so quite some time. And do we have music lined up that you would do it with? That might be something you need to organize. Some thump, thump, thump music, right? Please, this can be a big hit tonight, I think. Everything will come alive in front of an audience, right? So we're depending on you. We're going to ask you this evening, so please now, and I don't have time, then the best would be we could all do now a little performance, but maybe you're not ready, and it's time for the next seminar of Bhaktinanda Tirtha Maharaj. So we're going to stop now, but we will continue this evening, okay? So I want to thank you all so much for taking part in this seminar. 5th canto is where it's at. And those of you who want to write for our Bhagavata Smarana, all best wishes for your writing. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gaur Premanande, Hare Krishna.